Yo, what's going on YouTube? This is your boy Kamen Spike back again once again. And today we're here for No.1 Sentai Gozyuger episode 14. And in this episode we wrap up the Shoko arc, or the the Red Racer arc, and we get a lot more backstory on Ryugi, showing how where he is and where he comes from, and how he even got into Tegasword, or started becoming a real worshiper of Tegasword. And what the funniest thing about this episode was, real quick, why is Garud freaking flirting with the queen? Why are you flirting with the queen, calling her pretty and princess and radiant and all that in front of her husband? Note, her husband is literally attached to her. They are literally attached together. There are two heads on one body. How the duck are you sitting here flirting with her? He's right there. That was just so random. Why are we doing this? That was the most randomest thing. Ew. Anyway, this is basically where Ryugi is trying to get Shoko to understand that he doesn't need protecting anymore, and he's him believing in Tegasword and finding faith in Tegasword ended up making him a stronger person. And she doesn't believe that. She believes that the world is evil, the world is messed up, and the world is very dangerous, and she's the one that has to keep him safe from all the messed up stuff. And while she's in her Red Racer form, well, she's in her Red Racer, she's in a Red Racer form. She's in that weird delinquent form where she has the freaking club and the jacket and stuff, which I still think a lot of people are finna be freaking cosplaying. But yeah, she's in that, and she rampaging through the city, basically calling out all these freaking safety hazards and stuff, but she's the one causing the safety hazards. She's blowing up stuff and blowing up buildings and knocking stuff loose. Yeah, so when they end up going to meet her, and they basically decide to lead her somewhere else because she could cause more destruction if they fought her in the city and things like that. And when they get a chase sequence, which was random, we get a weird chase sequence with her. Throughout the chase sequence, she's trying to grab them and get them, but at the same time she's blowing stuff up. She kicks a guy off his bike and steals his bike. He's freaking crazy. And then also random banana in the middle of the freaking street. What is this? It was freaking hilarious. Just random banana. I was like, what? Why? Even that has a safety violation. Just random banana. You can't even punish the person that did it because you don't even know who it is. Come on, man. This was just wacky. That whole chase sequence was hilarious. But they ended up fighting her in this in the construction site, the wide open field and stuff like that. And they end up get a 1v1 between Ryugi and Shoko. And when they have their one-on-one fight, they get more backstory on who they were and stuff like that as kids. And they became friends as kids and stuff like that. We see that Shoko was a very timid, crybaby kind of kid, but she basically said that you helped me find the light in the world and stuff like that. I was we both were crybaby kind of kids and stuff like that, and they helped each other when they were kids. So I can understand where the love and the bond and stuff is coming from. But he ends up defeating her in a really cool way. He beats her kind of brutally, but non-brutally at the same time. He kind of just beats her with a shockwave to the chest, or to the stomach, really. But yeah, when he ends up defeating her, she transforms back to her civilian state, and then that's when Fire Candle, the king and the queen, and Garud ambush them, and then Garud ends up summoning Hurricaneer Red and Live Man Red. And we see that the queen is smitten over freaking Garud because he's been basically flirting with her the whole time. And then throughout the fight, they're not fighting like that, but throughout the fights, with Fire Candle and the grunts and the other two summoned rangers, we see that Garud is kind of brutal, and he's using some of the he uses like some of the grunts and even the rangers as like shields and stuff, so he doesn't get hit. And then Fire Candle is fighting Horu, and then like Garou gets jealous that Fire Candle's fighting Horu, and then like he ends up using the king and the queen as a shield themselves, and then he ends up running off to go fight Horu with Fire Candle, which was a fight that happened off screen. We didn't even get to see that fight. We didn't get to see it. Like Horu wasn't even there, to see when Shoko like goes off, like when she leaves and stuff like that. So it's like I wanted to see that fight, man. That fight would have been cool, seeing Garou and freaking Fire Candle fighting each other to try to get to Horu, because they both like fighting Horu. It would have been dope, man. That's my only kind of gripe. It was like, God, we didn't get to see that. But yeah, the king and the queen, they power up, and then we see Ryugi has to go into his, go into his take a sword, and ended up having to 1v1 the king and the queen. Well, 2v1 actually, but they're actually able to increase their size. They were already giant, but they're able to make themselves bigger as well, which was weird. I didn't know they could do that. Why didn't they do it before? Or maybe they did do it before. But yeah, they make themselves even bigger, and through the faith in Tegasword, and Tegasword is actually talking to Ryugi a lot in this episode. He actually is able to power through them. He ends up one-shotting them through the chest and stomach really, and then he ends up defeating the king and the queen by himself. And that's when Shoko realizes that he's older now, he's stronger now, he doesn't need to be protected anymore. And yeah, she goes off and she gives him the Red Racer ring. So after that, the queen is like, she sees, she saw how, Garou was using everybody as shields and stuff like that, and then she is apologizing to her husband. That happened before the fight, but still, she apologized to the king and all that good jazz. And yeah, I mean, Shoko goes off. Basically everything kind of goes back to normal, and we see Ryugi creating a shrine for Tegasword, and then Tegasword, he sees it and he's like, yeah, it looks good, dog. Yeah. But yeah, the episode ends off right there. But overall, this episode was pretty good. I mean, I'm glad that we got an ending to the Shoko arc. I'm really happy that we got a female red, female red ranger or female red ring user. I'm really happy that we got to see that. I hope we get a lot more of them as the series goes on. We're not even on episode 20 yet, so hopefully we'll get some more of those. And yeah, next episode seems like it's going to be a big battle royale type of thing. I'm not battle royale, but a big thing is going to happen in the next episode, and some big reveals for the next episode as well. And hopefully Gozyuger Polar is coming very soon. If you don't know, I mean, hey, we got full scans of the guy. We got his mech and stuff like that, so most likely we're going to see Gozyuger Polar pretty freaking soon. I'm really looking forward to seeing that guy and what his whole spiel is with this whole story and things like that, because overall he's the best looking Gozyuger, bar none. But other than that, you guys let me know down in the comment section below what you guys think about this episode of #1 Sentai Gozyuger. If you made it to this point in the video, thank you so much. I truly do appreciate it. Remember, make sure to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. And remember, as I always say, stay henshined.